do that in a minute. Right, we
Chat's
are
open.
live, I think. Hang on, it's on there. Yes. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Tat Cave. This is our regular Tuesday hangout. I'm here with Zaheer, my good friend Zaheer. How are you first, mate?
I'm great, enjoying the sunshine. Um,
It's been miserable here. We've had rain most of the
oh,
day.
no, it's been lovely. It's lovely up north. It's sun's been out. It's been warm. It was raining earlier this morning. No doubt we'll get some more today, but
So it's a
it
fallacy
was been a
grim
nice day.
up north, is it?
Yeah, it's not been grim. I think maybe I brought the sunshine with me though. What do you reckon? It's quite possible.
And we have, of course, Margaret with us. How are you? Lovely to see you.
Thanks. Hi, how's it going? Yep, I won't mention where the sun's shining from, but anyways, here.
Yeah, it's always shining from there as well. Uh,
Yeah,
the
how have you
sun's
been,
always
Margaret?
shining where you are, actually, isn't it, Margaret?
Oh,
Yeah.
always. I bring the sun. Oh, you just said that. I stole it from you.
I was going to say, how are you? It's been I think the last time you came on this channel was when we did the Christmassy show, wasn't it? Where we were guessing prices.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's flown by. That's like months ago now.
Yeah.
I remember being quite good at that game.
Yeah, you were the best.
I was the best, wasn't I? Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. We need to do that again. I can't wait till Christmas to do another one of them. We'll set that up sometime.
Yeah. Do we have to wait for Christmas?
No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not waiting for Christmas.
Let's do like Cinco de Mayo and get like smashed, have margaritas and like play Price is Right.
Sounds good. I'll put it in my schedule. Hold on.
Okay.
So let me first open the chat, or see if you've already got it open. You can say a few hellos. I'm just going to sort that out.
There's 80 people in here. Exit to red was first. Panzers popped in. Twin Red Dragons.
Or see if you've already got it open. You can say a few hellos. That was me.
Okay, that was you. Okay. Docker-Doodle Do's in there. Jason Entwistle, hi. Southwest Sellers, £400 and down. Richard Howell. There's over 84 people in the chat, so a lot of people already saying hi. Anne Hamilton, Kay Horsley, David Morse, Callum, Sib K, Tactical Bite, Heather, Lisa Fenn. I'm sorry if I'm missing people because there's a lot of people and I'm sure we've got something to talk about. So
Lisa messaged me saying that she couldn't manage to chat in the last chat and she wondered if she was blocked or something. And I went in and I couldn't find her name. So I guess that problem's been solved. Somebody else messaged me about that as well. So hopefully that's all sorted. They weren't in a blocked list or anything. So that's all good. I'm glad you managed to join the chat there, Lisa. I can see your comments coming up. I think we've got so many viewers because we've got Margaret's name in the title. That's what it is.
I don't get that many on my live. Well, it's evening for you guys. It's daytime for me. During my daytime ones, like 30 maybe.
Still,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, you were saying it was like, oh no. Anyway.
Yeah, but this is prime time. You see, everyone's come home from work and they sit down and they want to watch some random people talk about junk. Although today we're going to do something a little bit different, and talk about our sort of experiences on YouTube. Because our friendships have kind of evolved through YouTube. I mean, I wouldn't know you guys if it weren't for YouTube. It's something we all share that passion. And I thought it'd be just fun to talk about how we've got to where we are, why we do it, and the reasons behind it and stuff. So I've got a few loose questions that I'm going to fire at you guys and I'll answer them as well. And we'll see where it takes us. And then if anyone in the chat has got any questions about what we do, or if you guys in the chat have got experiences on YouTube, if you've got channels, just let us know. So the first pretty obvious question is, and I'll start perhaps with Margaret, is when did you start YouTube and why? What was the inspiration for that first video you put out?
I would say, okay, it's been about 2 years. February was 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years, first of all. And then I was kind of doing my reselling stuff all on my own, and all of a sudden found the like online community. And it just, yeah, wanted to like take part and talk to people because, I was getting, you can only talk to your family and friends so much before they're like, what are you even talking about? Selling junk you found at the garage sale. They don't want to hear about it. So I was like, I've got to talk about it. So it was that much of a need, yeah. So I created the channel so I could just start talking about it without bugging everybody else in my life.
And yourself, Zaheer, I know you were doing videos way before I ever did, and you had a different channel. So how and why did that all start?
I've still got it. I've always loved doing YouTube chat videos. I just loved always making them. I think it started when like I started getting into my PC building. 'Cause I've always been an avid gamer, like a lot of people of my generation. But I got into building my own PCs,
Your
and
head's
I was
on crackly.
oh already.
Yeah, that was quick. It's normally about half an hour in, you
Yeah.
go, oh, tech fail. But it doesn't happen when you're broadcasting. It's only on my Hangouts. What's that all about?
Yeah, I think it's because you're using Google Hangouts and I don't use Google Hangouts.
Okay.
I stream using OBS straight to YouTube. But yeah, anyway, it started when I was like building my PCs and things, and I was spending a lot of money on this really cool gear, like new cases, power supplies, graphics cards, and I just wanted to share it, and you're spending all that money on this geeky stuff, and it really all it is it was an evolution because back in the day before YouTube was huge, people like me used to go onto forums and put pictures up of the stuff we'd bought, or you'd see long threads of photos of the insides of people's PCs and things, and or video game setups or their home cinema setups. So it started with that. I used to share like with other geeks what my home cinema setup was like, but it used to be a photograph in the thread and that was it. But obviously the evolution of that was when YouTube, or when the internet speeds allowed really, and it was quick to upload a video, it was just so much more fun to share videos about that stuff. So I had a channel where I still have a channel where anytime I buy anything like stupid, like this Razer watch or this Razer mouse, or mostly Razer related gaming stuff or PC stuff, I'd make unboxing videos, and at one point they became pretty popular. So
Yeah, you had some crazy numbers of views on some of those.
I think I've got nearly 2 million views on that channel, and I think I've got like, you get like views, like I think I've got mouse mat videos with like 100,000 views and stuff, like people wanting to see or like headsets and keyboard reviews for like 200,000 views and things like that. And only it was pretty fun. I mean, I just enjoy buying Razer stuff. You get a lot of hate for doing that though, because everyone's like, oh, you're a Razer fanboy, are you paid by them? And like, no, I'm buying this stuff because I like it, because it lights up green,
So you
why wouldn't
still,
why wouldn't
I was going to say, still doing videos on that channel, or is it now all about the reselling channel for you?
I don't get to do many because I don't have the money to spend on it at the moment. And I've not upgraded my PC, and reselling has taken over a massive part of what I do, hence why I started the reselling YouTube channel. And so it was kind of natural for me to just do another channel. I mean, to be honest with you, if I did anything, I'd probably make a YouTube channel about it. So if I, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've reviewed chocolate bars on my other channel because I was like, oh, this is a nice chocolate bar. I don't care. It's just what I enjoy doing. So at the moment, like, reselling is the thing I love doing. It's taken over a lot of my life, to the point where I don't really have time to, upgrade the PC, and just don't have the time for it. I don't play games anymore. I haven't done it for a while. So that channel's a bit stagnant, to be honest.
The channel reflects your life, and right now you are throwing yourselves into your business, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly. So
my experience, I think this summer it'll be 3 years that I've been making videos, and the reason I got into it was because I had found people in America predominantly that were making videos about what I'd been doing for years, and it was a revelation. It was like, oh, there's others of me out there, and they're talking about it. So I kind of felt compelled. For a few months I just watched and started commenting, and then I felt compelled to just share what I've been doing. So that, and then I never really looked back. It took ages for the channel to get any real traction, and then it just kind of started taking off. And yeah, so that's how I got into it. I was going to ask, go on.
I was going to say about the unboxing stuff. Well, I do unboxing videos, but Randy was suggesting, he sent me a video, like somebody takes like the things, I don't know, I'm going to grab something random, and they just, like each video is just them showing the little that, and it's not even, it's just their hands in front of the thing, and like, he's like, you need to make another channel, and just like all the stuff you get all this like geek stuff.
Have you heard about some of the biggest channels on YouTube are guys who, like you just said, Margaret, it's just their hands, but they're opening Disney toys and opening Cars toys, and apparently kids watch in the millions, and these guys are just getting millions of views a day of just opening toys, which is amazing.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy world out there for it. But I mean, I remember getting into some guy that used to unbox like Marvel and like comic book action figures by Sideshow Collectibles, and that's what kind of really got me into that whole thing in the beginning, I think.
I was just gonna, before I do the next question, let's just see. There's so much chat going on. Let's see who we've got in there. See if we've got any comments or questions. There's a lot of talk about merch going on in there, which I'm still frustrated at because I'm not involved. I really kick myself because I'm still waiting for it to come to the UK, and I may be waiting forever. So yeah, I need to just
go apply. Just go
yeah, I know. I should have done it 6 months ago. Oh, Lisa says, thanks, Nick. I had to sort it. So yeah, I'm glad you managed to get in the chat. Welcome aboard.
Tactical Bite makes a funny comment. I was talking about liking razor products. He goes, ironic for someone that rarely uses a razor on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panzer has nice shoes, Nick. And I read it and I thought, how do you know what shoes I've got on? But it's these guys. I thought, what are my shoes showing? How is that happening? Yeah, I'll quickly say, I went out today. We had a kind of day off. Here it's Easter holidays. So Ellen is off school. So we're kind of relaxed a bit about work at the moment. We're going to do things with Ellen. We're going down to the South Coast to visit my sister shortly. So we kind of had a day off today, but I went charity shopping and I found a pair of, these are Barkers and these are Lokes. I spoke to Ian Strutt earlier and he reckons they're a bit of an older style, so perhaps not quite so sought after, but I'll pay £5 for one pair and £3.50 on the other, so I'm quite happy with those. Bit out of my comfort zone, to be honest. But yeah, I know Lokes is a good make.
Definitely.
Let's see what other chat we've got.
Oh god. Do you think unboxing is odd? Try it. ASMR, says Sib K. I'm guessing that's
where they whisper, right?
Like, I don't know. Is that what it is? ASMR?
I think that's the one where they like whisper.
I think, yeah, whispering's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They speak mega softly.
Yeah, someone shared a video with me where it's just a lady whispering into a camera and it freaked me out. It was
there's like, I can't eat.
Now this is my favorite thing. Lisa Fenner has just put a comment saying, my grandson is crazy about watching YouTube videos of Kinder eggs being opened.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's like it stands to reason. I mean, I'm really big into barbecue, okay, and I've spent one summer watching every Barbecue Pit Boys video. If you guys don't know who that is, Barbecue Pit Boys are this crazy like American channel. These guys with giant like hunting knives who barbecue like anything that can be barbecued, and it is the most epic channel.
Yeah,
just love it.
Well, I guess if there's a niche about anything, just about, there's now a YouTube community about it. It's evolved so much and it's now so massive. I mean, reselling itself is a tiny little corner of the internet, but the community is now exploded, hasn't it? It's huge.
Yeah.
So on that sort of theme, I was going to say, actually, I saw a comment. It said, Steve Hawkins, hi mate, says there's a mini Nick in Zaheer's cabinet. When it cuts to Zaheer, there's either me or Margaret in the background.
Oh, really?
The
reflection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is. There you go. That. No more.
Blocking us out. So what I was going to ask was, what unexpected things, if I go to Zaheer first this time, what unexpected things have happened through having a YouTube channel?
Firstly, can I say I'm surprised at this organization? I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
I'm a bit taken aback here. You know, you're hitting me with questions.
This is a page a day kind of diary thing. I'm getting all
Oh wow,
videos, and Andrew and I are trying to get, blog posts sorted.
oh my goodness,
I don't know how long
organized.
it will last.
Oh, well, keep going. Something strange that happened. I
Yeah,
never
what
thought.
unexpected things have come from doing YouTube that you wouldn't have imagined?
I maybe I'm naive about it, but I never thought that I would make like friends like yourself. You guys. Yeah, I never thought it would ever manifest. I always thought of YouTube as such an online thing. I never ever thought it would end up with like us, being friends. And I think that's probably the most amazing thing about YouTube, and the number one reason now that motivates me to make videos is because like I've got YouTube to thank for meeting you guys, and it's just amazing how we've connected. Like from Margaret's in Texas, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's just so crazy. I know that pretty makes me sound like almost like a Neanderthal in today's age of communication. But you know what I mean? It's amazing. What I think I never expected that. That for me has got to be the
Definitely. Margaret, what about yourself? What unexpected things have come from having your channel?
Well, that was my number one too. Like just actually, like yeah, I've made acquaintances on social media, but like you guys, Caroline, like are really good friends, right? Like my go-to core.
Yeah.
When things come up, like y'all are the ones that are there for me a lot of times. And so, like it is weird. Like okay, I've never even seen you in person. You could have really smelly breath, and then I just forget it. I don't want to touch it anymore. And then just how much the channel has grown. Like that my channel has grown some. I mean, I remember when I had like 100 subscribers, and I was just like, I'm just as excited. I was just as excited then as I am now about like people and talking to people.
Yeah, every little milestone is amazing. I always say, I remember when I started my channel, we went on holiday to Turkey, and I remember sitting in my room, and I went into my channel, and I was so excited that I got 30 subscribers, and I've never been that excited since. That was the milestone. Why 30? I don't know, but I was like, oh my God, and I went rushing around showing my friends and family. It's like, yeah.
Watch my video, right?
It was just the fact that people were watching was enough in the early days. A handful of people were watching surprised me.
Yeah.
But somebody made a comment that kind of echoes what you two were just saying about Heather says, laugh out loud, Nick, you found your tribe. And that's kind of what it is. I felt really quite isolated before YouTube doing what I do, and I didn't know it was a thing really. I thought I obviously knew people were reselling on eBay, but yeah, I felt very alone in it. And it's given me, and I had to echo what you two said, the biggest surprise is that I've gained friends that it's not just YouTube friends, it's not just acquaintances. They're, half of, if not more of my social life is now through YouTube, and they're genuine friends. And some of us have had the pleasure of meeting up, and one day we'll come find you, Margaret.
Yeah, I'll come to you. It'll be easier because there's more of y'all than there is of me.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd have to echo that. It's I never expected to get that level of friendship and stuff. And also it's really helped me confidence wise in what I do, confidence in what I do and what I'm about, because I know people are interested, and it gives you that kind of pride in what you do, or it does for me anyway. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Let's have a dip in the chat again. I'm way behind, sorry guys.
Yeah. Oh God, there's a lot of questions come through. I should have kept up with it. Sorry.
It's so busy, which is great. Oh, Chris Scotts is in there. Hi, Chris.
Or George Ross just said, most of you may have seen on the Facebook group, but I sold a first edition of Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets for 380 quid.
Wow.
I did see that. Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
And I think it was the one I commented on, that he he bought it from an online seller, one of the big online booksellers, who clearly aren't doing due diligence and seeing if they've got first editions. He like bought it for £6 or £7 or something off an online bookseller, and then found out it was a rare first edition. So, wow.
Nice.
The big guys, I think, don't have the manpower.
By the way, if you
Sorry,
find a rare first edition. I was just going to collect Harry Potter, by the way, if you find another rare first edition.
So I'm just trying to catch up in here. How are we doing on vids? We've got 138 viewers, so thanks for tuning in, everyone. The chat today is not so much Tat based. We just wanted to talk about YouTube and what we love about YouTube, why we do it. So which is why we've got Margaret on, Queen of Reselling YouTube over there in Texas. So yeah, what else have I got? Next question I wanted to ask was, if I start with Zaheer this time, what do friends and family think about the fact that you're putting yourself out there on YouTube? I mean, I know Beck is now heavily involved in your channel, so obviously she's fine about it, but what does other people think?
Well, my girls don't watch it. You know, the little one will sometimes watch it, but she's more into Bratalis and Sarconi something or other. So she's not into it. But as in terms of family, I don't really talk about it because it's really weird because I know that everyone can see it, but to have your family know is different. You know, they know that I do YouTube, but it's not something we really talk about. It's just weird to know that because there's been odd occasions where like Beck's sister or my sister or my brother's been in the chat, and it's just a bit weird knowing they're watching you. You don't mind everyone else.
Yeah,
it's just
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's strange. Don't know what that is, but.
What about you, Margaret?
I mean, Randy's come on a couple times, and
is he supportive of the whole thing? He must be, because he gets involved.
He is, but he's also protective, you know, just like, who is this weirdo that keeps messaging you? That kind of stuff, like, because I'm a girl, I think sometimes that happens. And so, you know, early on when that kind of stuff happened, he was just like, let's pull the plug on this. This is nuh-uh, you know. Yeah. So it's gotten better where I've gotten better with my boundaries and being able to say this is unacceptable. Anyway, but my parents, like my dad doesn't watch it all, but my mom says she will watch, but just doesn't turn the volume on. She says she just wants to watch my face, like watch my face expressions. That's your mom.
Yeah, for me, it's similar to how Zaheer feels. I know that some of my cousins and some of my closer family do tune in and watch, and that makes me feel oddly self-conscious, which is strange because I'm happy for, you know, thousands of strangers to watch me and, you know, share what I do and behind the scenes stuff about my family and that. But when people quite close to me and the family watch it, yeah, I don't know, it's a bit awkward and I don't know why, but yeah. But
like, go on. Oh, just like my people, the parents in the PTA or whatever, like randomly one day a mom mentioned it to me in the parent workroom, and it took me by surprise. Yeah.
There's a little echo there.
Yeah, here.
Is it?
So it may be coming back through my mic. Let me move my mic over.
I don't know. Could be, yeah, could be.
I'll turn my volume down. Let me turn it down more.
Fine.
Is it better now?
A little bit better. No, still a bit echoey. Is it coming through speakers or I don't know?
Hold on, I'm moving my mic away. Don't tell me I've got a fancy mic.
I don't think it's your. I don't think it's your mic. I don't think it's your mic.
Is it me? Is it me? Is it me?
I think it might.
I don't hear it now. No, I do. Darn it.
Yeah. Do you have your headset or anything, or?
I find one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Highway Bus has put a comment in that's interesting. Anyone noticed how meta the whole YouTube thing has become? 2 years ago, channels were 100% about reselling. Now half the channels are obsessed with subs, thumbs up, and ad revenues. Thoughts?
I was going to touch on that that was going to be a topic, but we can go into that now if you like.
Okay, it's just sorry. No, I mean it's up to you if you want to talk about it now.
Yeah,
I mean,
go.
my opinion on it is, it's at the end of the day, when you make a channel, it's obviously going to be about a core topic. It could be, but then there are channels which are about just people's lives. Um, and I think that, for example, my reselling channel is always going to be about reselling. But as a human, you do appreciate when people watch. So, I think we're all guilty to some extent to start noticing that it makes you feel good as a person. Like, it's the whole community thing, isn't it? It makes you feel so nice that when you go live, that that there's a community of people out there that are willing to share their time together and just watch and contribute, and interact. And it would be silly to say, oh no, I don't care whatsoever about that stuff, because you do care a little bit. So you do end up caring about things like your subs or your views or your thumbs up. When it comes to ad revenues, you just don't make that much money on YouTube for it to be such a big thing. But you almost feel like, if the option's there, why wouldn't you? That's my opinion. Like, if they're giving me the option to monetize videos, why wouldn't I? That's all I think. That's my
I get
on that.
fairly regular comments about why did I put adverts on? And the way I look at that, when I started, I didn't even know it was possible. And it was a subscriber that said to me, Nick, you can put ads on these. This was when the channel started to get a little bit of traction. So I looked into it. I always thought Google chose to put ads on random videos and they took that revenue, which is fine. It's their platform. And then this guy said, you can share in that revenue. And to me, I see myself as an entrepreneur, and my job is to see an opportunity and capitalize on it. So when I heard that information, hell yeah, I'm going to switch that on. It's like, that's what I do. It was an opportunity and I turned it on, and I've never been apologetic about that. I think as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, and someone says, here, do you want some money? You go,
why wouldn't you? Yeah, exactly. If the option's there, why? I mean, to this day, I cringe at the thought of my other channel where I used to have comment after comment saying to me, oh, thanks to your review, I've bought this headset, I bought this sound card, I bought this. And now I look at those comments and it makes me want to weep, because I didn't even know what an affiliate link was. So,
yeah, we had these conversations. When you came and stayed, I remember saying to you, Zaheer, your other channel, sort it out. And you didn't. I was like, no, that's money you're throwing away.
I know.
But, yeah. Margaret, what have you had much experience about people commenting about adverts?
Yeah, I recently, sorry, I don't have my earphones are in the car. My mic.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
Yeah, I literally just yesterday, one of my pretty regular viewers left a comment saying, why do you do this? It must be for the money. I mean, otherwise, like, what's the point? Like, I've made a few videos and it's, I'm barely getting any views, and I'm barely, if I get any money from the ads, she's like, you must be making a lot of money. Why else would you be doing it? I mean, it kind of stung, like, well, that's not the reason why I do it, but there's a slight, I mean, we've all talked about how minimal it is, the amount of money that we make off of YouTube. But I don't know, like, when I started, I really did start for a community, and that's why I've continued it. If I didn't have, I mean, that's why I do so many live shows, because I like to talk to people. And so there's that. And then, yeah. What was the second part?
I think it's the passion, wouldn't you say, though, Margaret? It's the passion that starts it. Like with anything, I mean, even with reselling, if you go into it half-heartedly, you're going to get half-hearted results, right? We've all seen that. So when you've been half-hearted, you've gotten half-hearted results, and when you put more effort in, you get more out of it. And it's the same with YouTube. If you don't have the passion for it, then everything else is irrelevant. You wouldn't ever get to the stage where anything like views or sub counts or anything would even matter.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, like, I think the part of it was, my channel started off as totally reselling, and just as my business has evolved, and I mean, I'm a part-time reseller, but just as things have evolved, and as a stay-at-home mom, other ways I've found to make money, or, I've, just branched out doing that. And then as I've gotten to know people, I felt more comfortable sharing more of me and things I like. And So I don't know. I almost feel like my channel's not necessarily just reselling. It's almost just like here's me and here's the stuff I like, and if you like it too, come hang out, you know.
Yeah, and we've both had conversations about this where people get funny with you if you do a video that's not what they're there to see. And I do understand that, because the core of my channel is about my business and what I do. But the more confident I got with making videos, the more I was happy to share other stuff, to the point where, you know, most people will know that I went on Margaret's channel and we talked about things that went on in my past that I don't tend to talk about, and I don't feel a need to. But Margaret and I share that sort of background, and that was really helpful for us and others, which was fantastic. So yeah, and the thing is, Margaret, it's your channel and you need to do what you want, and people either will like it or not, and that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I figure, like, well, there's plenty of stuff for everybody, you know. And obviously if I was doing it just for the money, then those unboxing videos that I do that get, you know, they don't get anywhere near the views of my reselling videos, then I would just scrap those and just do reselling videos every single day. Obviously that's not what that's not what it's all about for me. So I don't know. So it's kind of like, when people say stuff like that,
you've got to do what you want to do, because if you end up forcing it and thinking, well, people only want to see me do this, you know, that's forcing what you want to do. You have to follow your passion, really. Yeah.
And there's a channel called Video Creators, which I like, and they give tips for growing your channel. But when I start watching some of the tips, it's just like, but it's not me, you know. It seems too, like you said, it seems so forced. Like when it's like, I'm going to be a YouTuber, and this is the formula for becoming a big YouTuber, and I'm just like, it doesn't seem natural, you know.
Yeah, you may have seen yesterday we put up a really daft video of Monty saying a little motivational quote. And I very nearly didn't make it public, because I know a large section of my viewers will think, what the hell are you playing at, Nick? What relevance or helpfulness is that? But I know so many people love Monty, and that just caters for my daft side, and Andrea loved it, and we're just going to do it. I don't kind of care if people enjoy it or not, and a certain amount of people will, and that's the point, you know what I mean? If you like those videos, watch. If you see one that comes up that says Monty's Motivational Mondays, you don't like all of that daftness, don't watch. I don't mind.
I posted a video of my cat playing fetch. And
yeah,
I was really hoping that was going to go viral. My cat plays fetch. Go watch it.
Yeah. Has it gone viral yet?
No.
Damn.
I was like, this is the one. No.
I just wanted to read Chris Gotts's comment. He says, because Chris has a channel, really good channel, and he says, I'm totally diversifying my channel as there's more to me than reselling. If people don't want to watch me, then they don't. Exactly. And you have to put out the content that you're happy and passionate about putting out. I mean, that will always be the core of it, will always be, I think, reselling for us, because that is a huge part of our lives, and we've got so much to talk about when it comes to that. But there'll be other stuff as well, like when we go down to Brighton and Worthing at the weekend, we're going to make a video about it, because it's just cool and it's fun. So.
I liked, there was one you did over the holidays where you went into town and you were, because like to me that's like a view into the world, because we don't have that here, you know what I mean? When you went into the high, I don't know, where'd you go? High school?
Yeah, we went charity shopping in a town about 15 miles from here. Yeah, we're going to try and do more. Just a little vlog to show you the streets and the, yeah.
I mean, because to me it's, we don't have that here. It doesn't look like that here.
Yeah, I forget sometimes that we all have an international viewership, and the simple things are sometimes really interesting to other, you know, people with a different perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, cobblestone streets, so quaint and nice.
Yeah. There's some mentions of Monty going on. Monty is amazing and very wise. Yes, he is. He's a wise dog. We all love Monty. I think he should host the Tat Chat one week. But he'd show us up. He'd be more organised and more entertaining than me and Zaheer.
Yeah, he's got it locked down. I mean, those words of wisdom were just phenomenal.
Richard says, any video featuring Monty I will watch. You see, he's the star of the show. I just need to put it out there. I know. I can hear him scratching around outside because I've showed to the office. Okay, let me dip in. What else did I have to ask you guys? I wanted to say, what YouTubers, they don't have to be reselling related, what YouTubers do you enjoy watching and which ones inspire you? Are there any? Can you think of any? Or ones that maybe inspired you to start, were there?
Ooh, this is a good question. Now I'm like, who do I watch frequently? Like I used to watch a lot of Graveyard Girl. I watch her some still. She's kind of fun to watch.
Graveyard Girl.
Yeah.
I've heard that name before. I think Andrew's mentioned her before.
Yeah, she's a pretty big one. She's got millions of subscribers. She
Really?
actually lives like in the next town over. I'm sure I'm gonna hopefully run into her one day.
Yeah.
I don't. What's her channel about?
Well, she started off doing a lot of makeup type. She does makeup stuff, but then she does a lot of unboxings and like, yeah, just random stuff and just vlogging. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway,
What about yourself, Zaheer? Who do
I just watch you guys. I mean, that's all I watch. I watch you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to, like I said, I used to watch like the Barbecue Pit Boys because it was just the best channel. But recently I've been like watching like Casey Neistat just because he just makes amazing videos, absolutely amazing. I just like seeing him zip through New York on that boosted board and
on a skateboard against traffic. You think he's just suicidal sometimes. I never knew about Casey until I think it was you, Zaheer, and Fake Rachel were talking about him, and Andrew and I were like, who? And we started watching, and they're just addicted because he's a filmmaker. His videos are like miniature films, and the work he puts in just puts us to shame. But it's amazing because he's such a great filmmaker.
Oh, there's another one I watched. His channel's called High Carbon Steel Love, and he like reviews camping stuff and like knives and things.
Okay.
I follow him on Twitter too.
In the chat, let us know who you guys watch. They're saying Metal Jesus. Yeah, Metal Jesus. That's the gaming guy, isn't it? Let me know if I'm thinking of the right one. He talks about vintage gaming consoles and stuff. Monty's come in now, so if you hear scratching around, it's Monty. What are you doing? Don't eat that. So yeah, who else? Trailer Park Boys. Trailer Park Boys? You guys heard of them?
I have.
Nope.
Yeah.
Monty, come out. So I shouldn't have let him in. Who else are people saying? Dobie says, besides you guys, Scavenger Life. Yeah, a lot of people watch Scavenger Life. Amazing content. Jason Smith. Yeah, your good friend Margaret.
Yeah.
Golden Finger Picker. Yeah, could recommend those guys. Yeah.
I mean, reselling wise, I mean, if we were to bring it a bit close to home, then yeah, definitely like out of the Americans, I obviously love watching Margaret. She's my favorite. And then I love obviously like Bonafide Hustler. I love like his videos. I think Breaking Profit, for all the hate that he gets sometimes. He's again, I enjoy watching his videos. There are so many now though that you kind of it's difficult to. It's not like before where you just have a couple. I mean, but the guy that very, very first put this idea into my head was because I actually thought it was all Nick's fault. But when I remembered, it was Nick. Nick came into it just after I saw this guy called I've forgotten his name now. Mike. Is it Mike? I don't know his name. Beck, do you know who I'm talking about? Mike, someone?
Was he a reseller?
Yeah. Oh god damn it! I can't remember his name. He's into cars and things. No, DIY Mike. Yeah, DIY Mike.
Oh yes.
This guy made a video a couple of years ago about how he used to be a substitute teacher and how in his first year reselling secondhand on eBay, he showed that he'd done like over $100,000 or something dollars in turnover. And that really got my attention at first, and then I started to get onto all the American reselling channels, Gil Mama and Gil Daddy and all that stuff. But then Nick did it when Nick made his videos here. That I was like, I know this is gonna make me sound so stupid. I was so thick I couldn't work out that those guys are doing it there. It means you probably can do it over here. There's not like a force field around the UK, which means you can't do it. But for some reason, that's my brain. I'm not smart. But then when I saw Nick make the videos, you know, successfully reselling in the UK, I thought that was like it for me. That was just the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned like Bonafide Hustler and Steve Rakin.
Yeah.
Going back to that early question, I said, what unexpected things have come of YouTube? I was genuinely amazed anybody bothered to watch in the early days. And then I got subscribers. Those things were unexpected. But then more recently, the fact that a couple of the guys that first turned me on to the whole reselling on YouTube thing, Steve Rakin and Bonafide Hustler, contacted us and wanted to come on. You know, we invited them onto the Tat Chat, and then they were hosted on. They came on the Tat. I can't even talk about it. It still excites me. The guys that I was following in the early days wanted to come on and chat with us. That blew my mind. How, you know, just by putting ourselves out there, you can be invited into this community and welcomed, and that still amazes me to this day.
Yeah, I mean, still, that's like
Dalek time again.
Oh, fudge.
When I first started, I had watched a video that Steve had done. And again, I know he gets a lot of hate from people, but he had done some video just kind of motivational about, like, you know, if you've thought about it, just do it, and about making YouTube videos. And so I messaged him, and he was like, he called me up. Like, before I ever made my first video, he called me and was like, giving me a pep talk and talking about the things that I wanted to make videos about. And, you know, like, he took time out of his day just to, chat with me.
Yeah, he's like that. After he came on and chatted with myself and Zaheer, afterwards, he kind of said to us, you know, gave us a load of hints about YouTube and was really trying to be helpful. And he's just like that. He didn't have to hang around for another half an hour and chat and help us out. But
and that's the thing too, like with what I would say, if people are looking into, or if they have YouTube, they make YouTube videos. If you're just, you know, like just the facts man, like, here's my numbers, here's what I bought, here's what I'm selling it for. It's like cool, but like, I prefer watching people that share a bit of themselves. You get to know the personality, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right. And that leads on to the next question perfectly.
Okay.
I think, did you have something to say, Zaheer? Go on.
No.
Okay,
I've always got something to say, so you carry on.
I thought I had, yeah, going on to, or thinking back to when you started, or if you had some advice for somebody who thinks, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have a go. What 3 things do you think have been key to building your channel? Now, what 3 things would you, thinking back, were really key to making it work for you? Or just one thing, if you can think of just one thing you'd say to people. Margaret?
Go ahead.
One, for sure, talk about things that you enjoy, not just what you think people are going to watch. 2, I mean, I am private to a certain extent. Like, my kids will never be on my videos. You know, there are things that I'm really private about, but then there's things in my life, you know, I think having that balance of sharing. I mean, some people share their kids and that's wonderful and fine, but just, you know, having something of yourself in the videos, you know, whether it's your family or your passions, you know, things you enjoy, and just be yourself. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you watch my first videos, I was like this. It took a while for me to come out of my shell, but just keep at it, and then it'll happen, you know.
Yeah. And I firmly believe that the fact that you share so much of your personality and who you are is why your channel is blowing up, because people come back for that stuff. That's why, you know, that's why it works, I think. I know some people say to you, why do you ramble so much? Why do you say hi to everybody that comes in the chat? Because that's Margaret. And if you don't like that, then it's not the channel for you.
And they'll leave like little comments like, she gets to the content at 3 minutes, 27 seconds. Here's where she starts actually talking about the topic.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get there.
Yeah. What about yourself, Zaheer? What things, if somebody wants to build a channel, what from your experience do you think has helped you?
Well, I mean, actually, just touching on what Margaret said, I used to get comments like that all the time when I used to unbox something. Well, I don't know about you, but if you've just spent like £100 on a mouse, you're going to take your time unboxing it because you want to get your money's worth. And I used to sometimes go over it, looking back in a cringing amount of detail, and I'm surprised anyone watched any of those videos. But yeah, I've got loads of videos of, like, he unboxes at 5 minutes. So,
can I just say in there, just the sentence "spend £100 on a mouse" just blew my mind. Really?
You can.
Now I need an unboxing video channel.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'd say the number one thing. I mean, actually, I think there was actually a question asking that just as you posed. I think Mia Cameron Ali said, "Yeah, what do you suggest people who want to start you know, people who want to start YouTube channels do?" I guess. I think, like you guys touched on, it's about personality. I think there's something you've got to be genuine. It's as simple as that. As long as you're genuine, it almost doesn't matter what the content is. I think obviously you're going to build an audience based on your content. So if you've got consistency, that's great. But I don't think it actually matters. I think it's all about being genuine. I think people who can I've said this before, like the camera can pick things up. Like when you watch X Factor or something, and Simon Cowell talks about, oh, this guy has whatever it is. I mean, I don't watch the X Factor anymore, but I've seen him do this many years ago, where like someone can sing, someone looks good, etc., but there's something they don't have, and I think that's the whole thing with YouTube. I mean, people. I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. It's over there somewhere.
You've got the Z factor. You've got the Z factor.
Yeah, obviously, I think it's just about that. I really do. I think that's the number one thing. If you can be honest and genuine, I think that's it. It will be fun for you. You might never get more than 5 subs or something. I don't know. I mean, I might never get more than what I've got now. I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care. I do it because it's fun.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, compiling onto that, like, if I only did reselling. Okay, so my number 1 most viewed video, I've told you guys this, I think.
I know what it is.
My number 1 most viewed video is me dehydrating figs. Of all times, of all like 500 some odd videos I've got, that's my most popular video. Me dehydrating figs.
Yeah, and mine by a mile is me just pointing a camera at some Pokemon figures and saying, these are Pokemon figures. And it's like on 100 and something thousand. Who knew? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, for me, it's the 3 C words, not those C words, naughty people. I think it's a lot about communication. And when I say communication, I mean when people message you, they've taken the time out of their day to watch your video for a start. They've then taken the time out to send you a message. Just reply, even if it's just to say thanks. I think that goes a long way because people, deserve that much. I think it's only polite. It does get difficult when the channel gets bigger because that can be an awful lot of messages. But if people send you questions, if people PM you, just take the time to reply because it's all about the viewers. You're only doing this because you want people to watch, I assume. So yeah, that interaction. So communication is big. And then a huge one is collaboration. I quickly, when I started, knew I didn't want to do this in isolation. And I got to know Tom and invited him on. And I quickly got to know Zaheer. And we started doing chats and Margaret and Caroline, etc., etc. And it just makes it so much more fun than doing this in isolation. And of course, it helps out those channels and they help out your channel. And Lonnie was in the chat and he said that coming on here helped his channel out. And I'm more than happy to do that for people. And then the other one is commitment. I think if your intention is to build a channel, that wasn't really my intention. It kind of just happened. But I think you have to have some level of commitment. If that's 1 video a week, commit to that. If it's 3 a week, if it's like Margaret, 5 a day, just commit to something.
What?
Yeah. Your video output puts me to shame. It's amazing how often you're putting stuff out, and it's fantastic. But I was just saying, I think that is a big part of it. People, if they enjoy what you do, they want to know that you're going to put videos out. And if you disappear for months on end, people will disappear from your channel. So commitment is a big deal, I think.
It's become a huge part of my life, for sure. Yeah.
There's a few comments about why my face isn't red today. I think it's because we've got some natural light coming in today. I normally have this light above and my face looks red, and all the makeup comments are coming in, foundation, and yeah. This is what I mean, interacting with the comments even when they're about your makeup and your face looking red.
Yeah. Well, for a while it was about sniffing things, and then it was about looking up Barbie's skirts. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've always got something
Being
following me
all
around.
that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But
something I'm gonna have to get back into. To be honest with you, I'm missing it. I'm missing a
yeah,
good coffee. Having
Lisa,
instant.
Lisa has a message for Margaret. Says, "I think Margaret has to be the nicest American on YouTube." There you go.
stop.
How's that?
Thank you.
Let's see what we've got going on in the chat. I'm going to just zoom to the end and catch up. Um, Lisa again says, I agree, Nick. Taking the time to reply to a message makes the person who sent the message feel like they are valued as a viewer. Yeah, I think it's great. If someone, like I said, takes the time to watch and then takes the time and puts themselves out there to contact you,
Yeah.
I think I've always thought if I can, I take the time to at least acknowledge that.
Yeah, I do the same, and it can take some time, but even just like a little smiley face or a little like thank you, I think it's just I see you, like, telling somebody I see that you're there.
Because I remember when I started reaching out to some of the YouTubers that were doing it before I'd even considered putting myself out there, because in the early days the thought was quite frightening, to be honest, and making my first video was a nightmare. But I remember contacting a few guys, and most didn't respond, to be fair. Their channels were quite big at that point, but a couple did, and that really meant something to me at that point, So I remember that. I just saw, where are we? Graham says in there, I for one really appreciate Nick, Zaheer and Margaret's videos. It reminds me that I'm not alone when the going gets rough. Exactly. Yeah, and it's the same for us, And I know definitely Margaret's touched on that you've got a group of friends and an audience that are there to talk to you, and it means a lot.
I think the other thing that I absolutely think that the YouTubing has done is, and it was actually mentioned earlier on in the chat. I see if I can find it, but I think it's about how it created the community in a way, how it brought people together. I mean, obviously, especially like mostly your channel, Nick, in the UK, that with it, got so many people together, and then the Facebook group happened, and then it's all grown, and it's all grown together, like side by side. And I think that's such an important thing to bear in mind. I mean, and a great example of that is just like in the comments, how many times people help each other out. I mean, Exit to Red was just asking about, is there an easy way of identifying action figures? And then Darren Smart and then Philippa Spalton have just come in and just come up with a solution, and to that. And it's just magic that happens, and it's all because of the sense of community that people feel, because they get to know you when you're outputting these videos, that they come here to sometimes we sit here and it's called a Tat Chat because we just chat. We just chat about stuff, and it's like a hangout, I suppose, isn't it? It's like a big hangout.
Yeah, I think inadvertently I helped to create a focal point for guys and girls in the UK buying and selling secondhand stuff. I just happened to be that guy who created that focus, and then we kind of came together around that.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, we started communicating, people formed friendships. The Facebook group helped create a place to go and chat about that. And it's just grown ever since. I just happened to be that guy who put myself out there.
Exactly. Stephen Moore says, I think Nick and Z should put on some of the women's clothes they buy. They would get loads of views. That's a different channel.
I totally agree with that. I would love to see that happen. Absolutely.
Well, that idea you said earlier about doing the show and we'll have margaritas and stuff, you see, that could go anywhere if we do that.
Yeah. I can get a big sombrero. You guys might have a harder time finding one, but I can just like run down the street and get one.
Chris has commented and said YouTube loves channels with high interaction too. So if you enjoy that side and making videos, it's a win. Yeah, basically, I don't know how all the algorithms and how YouTube decides to promote channels or videos, but I think if people are commenting and you're commenting back, I think it's a good thing for your channel. So it is a win-win.
Yeah, and I do when I am, let's say I'm getting ready in the morning or in the evening when one of my kids, I have to sit on his chair before he, to make him go to bed. That's the first thing I look for. Yeah, I look to see, is anybody live, so I can go in and like hang out in the chat and talk to people. That's one of the first things I look for. And then if there's nobody live, then I'll go watch you guys, whatever.
Yeah. Jason's just said, I have met Zaheer, which wouldn't have happened without YouTube.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember which one. I think it was Windike car boot. It was. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, it's so cool when that happens as well, because isn't it? It's just nice. It's never been like a, you know, a negative experience.
There's a whole other kind of slice of reality to it when you bump into someone that knows who you are and you've never met them from Adam. You know, it adds a really different spin to it, which takes a bit of getting used to. But yeah, it's quite odd. Even the time that when we got together, Zaheer and Caroline and the others, although I chatted face to face in this sort of format with them, it was still kind of like oh, this is reality now.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
Because you've met quite a few people from YouTube now, Margaret, haven't you? You've had a few meetups.
Yeah, for sure. And so I met most of the, like Chris and Steve and all of them, and Jason. And for me, it was big because Jason was on TV. Like, he had a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, that was I do sometimes just like, like, he called me up earlier. I'm like, this is just weird. Like, okay, this dude I used to watch on TV, I liked his show. Now he's calling me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw, what was it? The Treasure Pirate says, I'm very fond of my reselling family. It makes connections so much easier. Yeah, exactly. We've grown up into a big community, and a lot of people know each other now, which helps the fact that what we do is very isolating in itself, because we work from home. A lot of us work on our own. I'm lucky that I managed to work with my wife, as Zaheer does, but yeah, it's been great for that. Definitely. Excited says, my house is full of Monopoly boards thanks to Nick Hills. Yeah. There's some downsides of following me.
A lot of people have started buying jewelry because of me.
Yeah.
I hear that anyway. That's what they say.
Steve Hawkins says, in our house, I watch reselling videos. My wife watches board game videos, and my 4-year-old watches those weird toy egg opening videos. So it's got all the bases covered in that house.
Yeah, definitely. I think someone mentioned the reseller rally that's happening in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Chicago. Yeah. Oh, it's Chicago Crown Hustler. Obviously, says we have the reseller rally coming here to Chicago. I'm very excited to meet up with tons of YouTube friends. I mean, that is so cool. That is a really. I think that's the nice thing about this all. Eventually, that's where it ends up. I mean, like you said, you've met with Bonafide Hustler and Steve Rakin a few times, and they've been doing these kind of yearly meetups, haven't they? For a while now. I'm not sure how long, but I've heard that, and I think that is such a cool thing.
Definitely.
And Stephen Moore actually asked any news on getting a meetup sorted.
I saw that.
Don't look at me.
Somebody was going to run with that and see what happens. I don't want to kind of organize that myself. I don't want to be the center of it or anything. I don't want to be. I don't want to organize it if it happens. Not a really big one. I think that'd freak me out, being the center of something like that. It really would. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know what's
I'm sure
happening.
Something at some point, but not quite yet.
I don't know where we're at with that at all. Graham says, will Nick still keep Monty when his videos get more views than his own? Well, that'll be a tough day to deal with when Monty's more popular. I think we're there already, to be fair. So yeah, I could never get rid of poor Monty.
Darren Smart, I wouldn't be a reseller if I hadn't stumbled on Nick's videos. Went on to find Tom and Zaheer, and the rest is history. I mean, that's what happens. It's inspiring, I suppose, isn't it? When you see it, it's great. Mir Cameron Ali's got a question. What do you think showing your stock could harm your sales? That's quite an old kind of chestnut, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of debate about how damaging it is that I talk about a certain product and then other people go out and buy it. But in my experience, I'm still selling the same stuff. I'm making more these days than I ever have done. So
that speaks for itself. Yeah. Margaret, your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, every now and then, like there are those accordion hooks that forever I was selling, and I was telling everybody, so a lot of people did go out and get them, and so my sales of them kind of dipped off, but then they just picked right back up after a while because people are going to sell out, and now I'm sold out. So I've got some over there, and I mean, it's just like with anything, people want it, then they don't want it, then they want it, then they don't want it.
Yeah, well, there's natural cycles anyway. I've seen certain products that I sell rise and fall before doing YouTube and since. So what correlation there is, who knows? I mean, I'm sure there are products that have changed, the demand has changed or the availability has changed because of YouTube and because of sharing. But that's how it is, and it's really hard to know, to prove or disprove anyway. So who knows?
I'm all for sharing. I mean, whatever. I mean, like with the merch stuff, like there's enough out there for everybody, right? And so like with the merch by Amazon, I'll share my process of how I make shirts. I'm not a designer, and maybe it'll help somebody else make a few bucks that, like it's no skin off my nose, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just laughing at Stephen Moore. Question: when is MontyCon? He's put one video out and now he's getting his own convention. How is this possible? See what's going on in there. Oh, my pack rat's in there. Hi. Just got here. Quick, tell me what I missed. We've just been talking about YouTube. Yeah, I'd love to get you on the channel sometime, Joe, if you're possibly up for that. Right, how are we doing? Oh, there's a helicopter hovering above my house, it sounds.
Uh-oh. Manhunt.
I've been found out. They know where I live.
Monty has a secret life, kind of like the platypus in, what is it, Gary? What is it? Harry the Platypus from, what's that show?
What?
There's a oh gosh, what's the name of that? It's a cartoon. Anyway, this platypus has like a secret life as a spy, but the kids think it's just like their pet.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb, yeah. So maybe Monty is like a secret spy.
Yeah, maybe. Well, and that's his helicopter come to get him.
Yeah.
Gone now, anyway. Well, believe it or not, we have been chatting for an hour already. Wow. Did I do all my questions? I think we actually did get through everything. Cool. Let's just dip in the chat for a little bit and then we'll wind it up. Yeah, Darren says it's Monty's private helicopter. He's big time now. Oh dear. It's the Tat police. Why? What have I done? Stop talking about Tat, Nick. Giving away all the secrets. Graham Nichols says like button smash. Yeah, if you do enjoy these videos, please give us a like. And also, if you are a regular subscriber and you haven't clicked the little bell thing, I keep forgetting to say about that. That's really cool because then you get notifications when and if we go live, and that's really handy. So click that little bell just down below there somewhere. Right, so I can't see any questions we haven't tackled. So cool. Well, that was fun. That went really quick again, as usual.
Chris Scott's quickly asked a question: what editing software do you use for your videos? Margaret, do you use any editing software? Or
I use iMovie on my MacBook Air.
Yeah, very fancy.
Rash.
Yeah.
Was using that when she was doing lots of videos at Christmas for the Vlogmas thing. She got into using iMovie and was starting to get into the special effects and the slow-mo and the fast-mo and all of that stuff.
You can look like old-timey, crackly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are cool things. I do everything in my iPhone on Capture, the whole shebang, because anything to make my life simple is what I like. So yeah, I do it all in my phone.
At the moment,
you edit
to be honest with you, at the moment, all we're doing is the live chat on a Friday, so keeps it an edit-free zone. But when I do, I think I've got like an old version of Sony Vegas because it's on PC, so we don't get iMovie or Final Cut. So Sony Vegas is good though; does the job.
Cool. So right, well, shall we wrap it up there? We're now 7:05. I just want to thank everybody. We've currently got 135 viewers in. So thanks ever so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it wasn't very Tat related. I just wanted to chat with two of my special YouTuber friends about how they got into YouTube and what they love about YouTube. So I hope it was interesting anyway. We'll be back on next week with just myself and Zaheer for general Tat rambling. So if that's what you love, tune in next week. And I'll be back with Andrea on Sunday.
Back to the Tat.
Yeah, back to the Tat. I'll drop a link to Margaret's channel below, and there'll be a link to Zaheer's as ever below. Go and check out their channels. They put loads of great videos out. And thanks ever so much for coming and joining me. Excuse me, that went up the wrong way.
See, that's just professional.
I was trying to do a professional wrap up.
I know, it was good as well. That was good, but then that went up the wrong way. Just chopped it off.
I can't help myself. Somebody earlier said,
you know, my eyes flickering because
I was like, yeah.
Oh, good.
So thank you so much, Margaret, for joining us. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, guys, for having me on.
It's
Thanks
always
for watching, everyone.
Thanks, guys. If you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.